Hello everybody. In the last video we have seen some of the model law, that is Reynolds model law. Now we will go through the next model law, which is called as fraud model law. The fraud model law is applicable whenever we have a influential gravity force or the predominantly gravity force, and this gravity force is the major force which is actually controlling the flow of a fluid. In addition, definitely there will be inertial forces. Inertial forces are applicable, but other than the inertial force, the important force that comes under Froude model law is the gravity force. So whenever we have a gravity force which is predominating, we need to use the Froude model law. Okay, so if you just see the Froude model law, wherever it can be applied, for example, you have a free surface of flow over a spillways, maybe in ways, some channels, sluices, or flow of a jet through an orifice or a nozzle where the gravity is very important. There also we can apply Froude model law. Similarly, wherever there are waves are likely to be formed on the surfaces. On the surface, if the waves are creating, then I can use this Froude model law. Or whenever there is a fluid of different density flowing over one another, like you have two different oils of two different density or specific gravity, they are flowing over one another, definitely you can use this Froude model. With this basic introduction, we'll move on to this Froude model law. It is as similar as the Reynolds model law, where we say that the Froude number um, of the model and the prototype should be equivalent for the dynamic similarity. That is what is very important. So we need to find, or we need to figure out the Froude number of the model and Froude number of the prototype. If both are equal, then the Froude model law is applicable to that. So the important criteria that has to be kept in mind is the flow is dominated by the gravity force. That is very important. If you want to name some of the terminologies used here, like V, L and G, where V is the velocity of the fluid, L is the linear dimensions, and G is the acceleration due to the gravity. And the subscription M stands for the model, and the subscription P here stands for the prototype. You just see, according to the Froude model law, the Froude number of the model should be equivalent to the Froude number of the prototype. Okay, the Froude number is V divided by root of GL. So Vm divided by root of Gm into Lm should be equivalent to Vp divided by root of Gp into Lp. Okay, so with the help of Froude number, we are going to define this Froude law or the Froude model law. Okay, so this is the Froude model law, where the Froude number of the model is equivalent to the Froude number of the prototype. This, if it is equivalent, then we get dynamic similarity. If the tests on the model are performed on the same places, okay, see, I prepare a model and I conduct different tests. Maybe a flow of the liquid over a free surface, or maybe I'm using an orifice, a small or small nozzles I have created and I have been testing it out, and the place of the experiment is equivalent to the place where the prototype will be made and fit in. Then the gravity force which is acting will be same here, because we are at the same place. So your G of M will be equal to G of P. Gravity, acceleration due to gravity where the model is acting will be equivalent to acceleration due to gravity where the prototype is. So I can neglect or I can cancel Gm and Gp. So V by root Lm should be Vm divided by root of Lm will be equal to Vp by root of Lp. And if I take the velocity terms and the length terms properly on the linear dimension terms on the left hand side, then the velocity ratios Vm by Vp will into 1 over root of Lm by Lp will be equal to 1. Or also I can write it as Vp by Vm is equal to root of Lp by Lm. Now Lp by Lm, we can define it as a scale ratio for length, and we can put it in a terms of notation as LR. So Vp by Vm I can write it as scale ratio for velocity. So Vp by Vm I can put it as Vr. So Vp by Vm is Vr and Lp by Lm is Lr. So Vr is equal to root of Lr. This is one of the important result of the Froude model law. So the scalar ratio for the various physical quantities based on the Froude model laws are, okay, now if I want to put it in terms of scalar ratio for time, okay, time is length divided by velocity from the definition of velocity. Okay, so I can define it here as Tp by Tm, and I want to expand this Tp, so L by V of P, expand this T of M, L by V of M, so Lp by Vp divided by Lm by Vm. So length ratios or linear dimension ratio Lp by Lm into Vm divided by Vp. So Lp by Lm is Lr, okay, and Vm by Vp is 1 divided by Vr. So Vr is root of Lr. I can write that Vr is equal to root of Lr. I have substituted over here with the simple, what you can say, mathematical calculation. Your scalar ratio for time Tr is root of Lr. Finally we obtain that. Similarly, we'll get into the acceleration, scalar ratio for acceleration. Definition of acceleration is velocity over the time. So define Ar as Ap by Am. So V by T of P and V by T of M. Velocity ratios I can take Vp by Tp, Vp by Vm into Tm by Tp. Okay, so see, this is 1 divided by Tr, this is Vr. Okay, and remember your Tr is root of Lr. Okay, so Vr is also root of Lr, Tr is also root of Lr. So Lr and Lr in the numerator and denominator over the root, they get cancelled, and the scalar ratio for acceleration will be equal to 1. Scalar ratio for discharge, where discharge Q is defined as area into velocity. So A into V, I can expand it or put it in terms of fundamental dimension. I'll take area as 2 linear dimension L square. I will take velocity as L by T, so L cube divided by T. So defining your QR, which is Q of P divided by Q of M. Okay, see all the scalar ratios, please remember, in the numerator part it will be connected with the prototype for the subscription P. Okay, and in the denominator it will be the model. So if I want to find out, or I want to write the scalar ratio for discharge, it will be the discharge of prototype divided by discharge of the model. So your Q is L cube divided by T, so L cube by T of P, L cube by T of M. So I can take the length ratios here, Lp by Lm, so Lr cube will come. Tm by Tp is 1 over root of Lr, because Tp by Tm is root of Lr. So the final remaining will be Lr to the power of 2.5. Next one is the scalar ratio for force. Force is mass into acceleration. So I can write this mass as from the density equation, right? Density is mass by volume, so mass will be density into volume. Right? So density rho, volume in terms of 3 linear dimensions, so L cube, acceleration is V by T. So whatever is remaining over here will be your rho L square, L by T into V. Okay, I'm just expanding this L cube as L square into L by T. Okay, so that I can write this L by T as V over here. So the final, or the proper way of writing the force will be rho L square V square. Okay, this is very important, where I am writing this L divided by T as V. So that is why I am getting here V square. Force ratio or scalar ratio for forces F of P divided by F of M. So expand your F, which is rho P L square Vp square Lp square divided by rho M Lm square Vm square. Take the density ratios, take the length ratios, take the velocity ratios. Length ratios are squared here, and the velocity ratios are also squared. If the fluid used in the model and the prototype is both the same, as in the same case of gravity force, mass of acceleration due to gravity, okay, so acceleration due to gravity, where g of m was equivalent to g of p, because if you do the experiment in the same place. Similarly, if you use the same fluid in the model and the prototype, in the general case it is going to be the same, then the densities both will be same. So your rho p by rho m will be equal to 1, or rho p will be equal to rho m. That is obvious. And Here you have length ratios, so LR square. Here you have velocity ratio, so root of LR square. So you'll get it as, finally you'll get it as LR cube. Next one is your scalar ratio for pressure intensity. So pressure I can write it as force by area. Just now we have seen force I can write it as rho L square V square, and area is two linear dimension square, so L square. So the remaining will be rho V square. So pressure ratio will be pressure of the prototype divided by pressure of the model. So density ratio rho p by rho m will come, and Vp square divided by Vm square will come. Density they are equal, they are same. So your PR will be equal to velocity ratio square. So root of LR the whole square, so LR will remain. The next one is scalar ratio for work, energy, torque, moment, etc. If you see the torque, it is force into distance, F into L. Torque ratio is Tp divided by Tm. See, I can write this as F into L of P, F into L of M, and I can work it out like this. See, your F of R here, see, F of P by F of M is F of R, and F of R we have seen it as L cube. So using this, I can directly substitute here, no need to expand this F, okay, given that you know the scalar ratio for force. So F of R is LR cube into LR, so LR to the power of 4. For power, it is work per unit time. So your work is F into L divided by T. So if you are going for power ratios, it is power of the prototype, power of the model. So FL divided by T for the prototype, substitution here, FL by T for the model. You get the force ratios, you get the length ratio, you get 1 over time ratio. Fine. Your force ratio is LR cube, length ratio is LR, and time ratio is 1 over root of LR here. Final remaining will be L to the power of 3.5. Okay. So with this, we will get into one problem. If you see this problem 12.19, okay, in we'll get into the next, okay, in a 40 model of spillway, the velocity and discharge are 2 meter per second and 2.5 meter per second, and you need to find the corresponding velocity and discharge in the prototype. So whenever, see, they'll not mention you which law you have to use or where you have to check. When it comes to spillway, you have to directly get into flow law. So your length LR is given as 40, velocity of the model is 2 meter per second, and the discharge of the model is 2.4 meter cube per second. We need to define the velocity of the prototype and discharge of the prototype. Okay, properly use your velocity ratio Vp by Vm, which is root of LR, so I can find the velocity ratio. Now if I know Vm, definitely I can find Vp, so Vp will be Vm into root of 40. So Vm value is given to you, so you can find the velocity, okay, of the prototype. Now I have to find the discharge of the prototype. So discharge, see, I know the discharge of the model, so Qp by Qm is equal to LR to the power of 2.5, which we just derived it over there in the previous part. So your QP will be QM into LR to the power of 2.5. So you need to substitute the value of QM as 2.4 over here. I'm sorry, this is wrongly written over here. It is 2.5 actually, not 2.4. So properly do there's a printing mistake here. So 2.5 into 40 to the power of 2.5. So you get the value as somewhere around the 25,298. So this is how we need to solve questions on the Froude law. Okay, it's very important. You need to figure out which law you need to use, and so the application of those laws has to be kept in mind. So thank you very much.